Okay, so I'm working on the Greenstyle North Shore Swimsuit, and I thought it might be helpful just to kind of give you a visual on how I attach my elastic. First, I go ahead and this is the front. I'm going to get to the other front here. So in this, my elastic right now is just serged on. So I just take the length of elastic that's required and I just serge it on. Sometimes I'll leave a little bit of extra just to help me like pull it, stretch it as I pull it through the serger. But right now it's just serged on there. So I need to turn that to the wrong side and top stitch it. And I like to do this with my sewing machine. I feel like it gives me a little bit more control. I don't have to worry about skipping stitches or anything. So I use a zigzag stitch. I'm using a length of 1.4 millimeters and a width of 4.5 millimeters of a 3-step zigzag. So if you have those kind of controls on your sewing machine, you could do the same thing. The goal when you top stitch is really to get one point of your zigzag right up along this edge. So the elastic ends right here. So I've folded it under. The elastic ends right here, and we really want one of those points to hit right there to keep the elastic nice and straight. So I just go ahead, I'm just going to put that under my presser foot here. And you'll have that part at the bottom if you're doing the V front that doesn't have any elastic. So I start down there, but it's not going to have any elastic under it. You want to make sure that you're kind of pulling it. Let me see if I can angle it down a little bit. Sorry. So you want to make sure that you are kind of keeping it taut so that this part doesn't have any extra fabric bunched on it. So I just I start off slowly, and then when I can, I'll reach behind and kind of grab. So I'm gonna go ahead and start my zigzag. Okay, at this point I can kind of reach back and pull it a little bit. So I'm kind of pulling in the back, I'm pulling in the front. I'm not really yanking it through. I'm just keeping an even tension as I sew. And sometimes you might need to kind of lift up and readjust. But my tension is just really even as it goes through. If you pull too hard, your stitches will get too far apart, and if you don't pull at all, they might end up too close together. So as you go around the arm curve here, you just want to make sure that you're kind of pulling that so it's nice and flat. You could use your cover stitch machine here instead. And I've got a little bit of elastic overhang, and that's okay. So I'm just gonna lock my stitches there. And then you can see from the right side where my zigzag is, and then from the wrong side, you can see my serged edge, but the elastic isn't gonna flip up too much because I've hopefully gotten pretty close to that edge. So that is how I do the elastic. Of course, you do that all along the neckline and the back. And so I hope that that's helpful. And let me know if you have any questions.